Okie dokie. So today we have, is this our first one, the Remax Elite Expert Series? This is the first one, I think so. So today we have Brittany Ogata, and Brittany is one of our fantastic agents in Lexington. And Brittany has had great success with OpCity. Now, there's a lot of people that have questions about OpCity, and we just wanted to, we asked her to join us and kind of talk, and she's going to talk a little bit about it, tell you about herself just a little bit, and then after that, she's going to answer some questions. So we really appreciate everyone showing up. And Brittany, I will let you just take it away.
All right. Good to see everyone. So OpCity, I know a few of you have actually closed transactions. I know Caitlin has. Catherine Hicks, congratulations. She just started and she closed one with OpCity. So I'm glad you're on here, Catherine.
I closed one with them too.
Ruby did. Yep. Who else? I think that's it on here. Okay. So after you close one, the ball gets rolling. But we'll go over that in a minute. So OpCity is basically a lead generation tool that is, I feel like, no risk at all, because you're starting out, you don't have to pay anything. There's no commitment for long term. You only pay if you close the transaction with a commission cut at the end. So I like it for that. And also you're getting leads and you're creating a new client that will give you referrals too. So it can be a referral source for future transactions. So I'm going to share my screen and show you the website. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to try. Okay. Is it working? Can you all see my screen?
Yep, you're good.
I can't see. Okay. All right, so this is what your website looks like when you sign on the computer. I mostly just use the app when I get on there. It's the easiest way to enter in my information. It's the way that you're going to accept leads and all of that. So this is what your opening screen looks like. These are my active leads over here that I have right now. I've got one under contract. I've got one that's currently looking, and this one was brand new that came in last night. Okay. So when you get signed up for OpCity, one of the things they're going to ask you is kind of some basic questions about your experience level. And I know for me, and I'm not sure what Catherine ended up entering in, but I kind of just put, because I was brand new, I just used my brokerage information. So that will help you be going in as an experienced agent, basically. Let's see. What else can I show you? So the leads, whenever, let's go to my settings here so that you can kind of see. So once you've signed up for OpCity and you are wanting to set up your settings so that you can get the most amount of leads that you can. Over here in this corner is your basically a meter that kind of tells you whether you're going to get more or less leads based on your information that you're filling in down here. When I first started doing leads, I made sure to set mine to everything except all, because that's the best way to get the most leads and the most clients at that time. So when you click on leads, there is an agent score, and the higher your score goes, the better chance you have of getting a better lead. Okay. So I put location 40515 within 30 miles. I accepted all zip codes. I don't want to work with lease or rent to own, so I disabled that. I also disabled less than 100,000 less than 100,000. Okay. I did not do that though until after I had already closed probably 3 transactions and I was starting to get a lot more leads. This week alone, I probably received notifications that I'm getting a lead 5 or 6 times. So we're at Tuesday. So that was yesterday. I don't think I've had anything today, but 5 or 6 times my phone dinged yesterday saying there's a new lead coming up. Okay, I accept all property types. So these are my settings. So we'll go back here. So when a lead comes in, one of the settings, I don't know if it was on here or not. This is important. Make sure on your notifications that your mobile push notification is set to receive. That is the fastest way to click on it because that amount of time matters. And I'll go over that here in a second of why that matters, because there's a queue, there's an agent queue, and the more experienced you are, the higher in the queue you get. So the lead is going to come to agent 1 first. Then a few seconds later, it goes to agent 2. It's the same exact lead. Okay. So this mobile push notification is how you can accept leads. If you have to go into your app and click on the app, open the app, go to the lead, you're too late. The lead's going to be gone. So you have to hit push notification. When it comes on the screen, you have to click it and hit accept as fast as you can.
Brittany, I have a quick question.
Yes.
I've never done any of this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to get signed up on it.
Okay, so
that's why.
Sure. So we're going to go to OpCity.com, and I think you're going to need to sit down with Christy or Kim, and you guys can confirm that with me, but I think you have to sit down with them in order to do it. So this is OpCity.com. They're in partnership with Realtor.com, which actually when we started, that partnership was not solidified like this. That has happened over the last, I think, year. In that it looks like Realtor.com versus OpCity as something separate, which I like better. I'll explain that why in a minute. But here you will need to talk to, I'd probably come in and talk to Kim and get signed up.
Okay.
I'll sign you up, Kimberly.
Yeah, it doesn't have anywhere to do a new account. I was trying to do that real quick. So you have to do it. Okay, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. I'm sorry. I'm really not good at this, guys. So
no, that's good.
I'm trying to start at the beginning, but I feel like I'm jumping around. Anyway, any other questions right now that I can clarify from what I've already gone over, and then I can go to the next thing? Okay. So once you receive a lead, okay, so let's say you hit accept. Unfortunately, I can't show how that all works because there's just I don't have a lead coming in. But once you receive it, it goes into this section here, this active. Okay. Well, let's first talk about what happens. So when a customer is online looking on Realtor.com, they're clicking around, and next to the properties, it'll say, ask an agent a question or set up a time to go see this property. They're going to click that button, and immediately they're receiving a call from OpCity. Okay. So OpCity gives them a call, and they gather some initial information. And that initial information is, what are you looking for? What price range? Do you have an agent? So they're already asked that question. Do you have a lender? They're asked that question. Are you pre-approved? When do you want to close? What's your anticipated closing date? So they've been on the phone with this person before they talk to you for a little while, and it's kind of a phone call out of the blue. So it's really good to know that. And once you get transferred over, to respect their time, because they also are like, why am I getting bombarded with all these questions? I just clicked a button. So once they've gathered all that information from the call center then releases the lead. So they release it to those agents in that order that I was talking about earlier. So I'm going to go over here to the training center, and it's going to talk, we're going to look at that order. Let's see if I can. I don't know if this is the right one. Anyway, what I was describing to you was that agent one gets notified first. So as your score goes up and as you do better with leads, so we can look at the score here in a second or first, then you will be first on the queue. So it releases for 5 seconds, they're on hold. So they put that customer on hold, they put it in the queue and they're waiting for an agent to hit claim. 5 seconds goes by for the first agent. Then it'll add on, I think 3 or 5 seconds for agent 2, it goes to them. So now 1 and 2, it's both on their screens. Then it goes to agent 3 for after the next 3 or 5 seconds. So anyway, that's kind of how it works. And that's why sometimes some people will get it and get it quickly because they're higher on their score and in the queue. Okay, so this right here is claiming leads. So one of the options when a lead comes up is claim or skip. So skipping a lead will tell the system that you are not looking to work with clients that are similar to this. So if you hit skip on an investor in Mount Sterling for $120,000 or less that doesn't want to buy for 3 to 6 months, I don't know what the algorithm is when you hit that skip button of what information they're saying, okay, we're no longer going to send them this. But the best thing to do is just accept every single lead and don't get discouraged because most leads do not work out, but some do. And that's what's great about it because it will some work out. So ignoring is what they say to do. If you cannot be at your computer to receive the lead, ignoring the lead is the best thing to do, but that will bring down your score. So how to be successful is by clicking accept as much and as fast as possible, because I'll show you the scoring here in a little bit, and it'll show you how many seconds the average agent takes to click on the lead. So let me see if I can find where it talks about. We'll go back here. Okay, so now one of the tips I can say is whenever a referral comes in, the person will warm transfer you. Okay, so they're going to say, I have this client on the line. This is their name. This is what they're looking for. You're also going to receive a text at the exact same time. That text will have information. It'll have their name. It'll have the address, the property address that they clicked on. So the best thing that you can do at that point is, even before they transfer the client to you, is pull that property up on the MLS so that you can answer the questions that they have about it. Do your best to do the fastest scan you can and know as much information as you can before you talk to the client. It's kind of hard. So once they transfer you, then the best thing to do is just introduce yourself. Say, I see that you were looking at this property, and just say, what questions can I answer for you about it? Do you want to set up a showing? A lot of times the properties are already pending or not for sale. So then you have to transfer it into, I can help you look for something that's similar. Okay, so now they've warm transferred you over. You've had a quick conversation, and remember in this conversation that they've already gotten a call out of the blue and have answered lots of questions and have already been on the phone for a little bit, sort of. It may not be a convenient time for them. So I keep it short and sweet. Any questions I can answer for you now. And then the next thing I do is say, I'm going to send you a text. That's my cell phone. As soon as we get off the phone, it'll have my name in it, because they're not going to remember your name. You have to text them that. And I think OpCity also texted them that, but I like to make sure it's personal. And I just say, it was great talking to you. I look forward to working with you. And it has my name on there. And then I say, I'm going to send you an email as well. Then I send them an email, and it goes over the home buying process. I like to send one that is like, it has that steps to buying a home that the office made for us a little while ago with our picture on it. It's perfect. I put it in that email and introduce myself and everything. A lot of times, and from the things I've closed, which is over here, these are the ones I've closed. Of these, I have set up showings the first day on all of these during those phone calls. That is like key. Set up the meeting. If you do not set up the meeting, they may come back around to you, but you haven't solidified the relationship. And that's the most important part. That's why a client will use you, is because of that relationship. So this one down here and this one up here, I got the OpCity lead and the contract in the same day. So these two right here. So this one bought the house that they clicked on, but it wasn't the same day. It took us some time. We went back a couple times. So I didn't even have to show them more than one house. This one was a different story. We saw a lot of houses. And then this one, we went and saw the house that they clicked on, but they did not end up, it didn't fit what they needed. So we just kept shopping until we found what they needed. Okay, so the meeting solidifies the relationship, set it up in the phone call. And that's really hard to do when the property's pending and not available to set up a showing. So all of these were available to set up a showing, and that was the main thing, that it motivates them. It's what they wanted. It motivates them to go there, and you're solidifying that relationship. So once you've done that, you've got the lead now, and it's in your OpCity active. So these all need updates. I waited for right now to do it. I don't know what I just clicked on. Okay, this is the one that's under contract currently. Okay. So I'm going to update status. These are all the times I updated it. They make you do that every 7 days. And if you do not update it, it will take down your score. So this is another thing that impacts your score. So you're going to update status. It's really simple to use. You just click on the one that you're still in. Nothing's changed here, so I'll just say same, still under contract, update status, confirm. One thing to know, okay, this contract date is actually not correct. I probably should put the correct one, but I don't. And here, the reason why is because OpCity starts sending out these emails, which I think now it's better because they're associated with Realtor.com in a more obvious way. Because before it was just from OpCity and people didn't know what that is. So now it's kind of Realtor.com, but they'll start sending closing information to them, like utility setup and that kind of thing. So I kind of put a further away date because I don't know if we're going to make it to closing on that date, and I don't want them to start receiving things and then they'll ask questions and stuff. So I'll update that later when we close so that it will send. But anyway, all right, so I just updated this one. Okay, this is the brand new one I got yesterday. So all I did was speak to her. This is the property that she was interested in. This is the information that they collect in the call center, is all of this information. So this one was already pending when I spoke with her, and they did connect her to a lender who's reaching out to her as well. So I'll update that status to spoke. So I just spoke with her and I'm sending houses to her. And these notes are really just for you, so you can look back. Obviously it's for them too, but you can say whatever you want in there. All right, and these, this client I got a little while back, and we've been looking at houses, and we're gonna see another one this week. So they're still active buyers. All right. So that's kind of how you use, so my lead alert, see how it says resumed? Because I did not update this one on time, it will pause your lead alerts and you will no longer receive them until you update them. And they'll send you tons of notifications so you can't miss it. They'll be texting you and emailing you that you did not update your leads. Okay, so let's say one of these leads kind of goes cold and you're like, okay, they're not responding at all. you could go into the lead and you can hit release. Okay. So release will put them in this section over here. And it will load in here in a second, but it does have several. There we go. So these released ones can all be pulled back to active. So if they decide they're not looking and just didn't contact you, and they decide a few months later they'd like to look again, and they get back on realtor.com and click something, OpCity will automatically release it to you. It's your lead. They won't put the lead back out there to somebody else. But if they just text you or email you or contact you in some way, you can also restore the lead to active. Okay. The other option is putting it on hold. So I have a few here that are on hold, or just a couple, I guess. We looked, they had a job situation change. We were getting ready to put in an offer and they had something change. So I put them on hold. They're my hold people, and I'll contact them. It'll come back to, it'll automatically pop back to active after I set it on hold for, like, I think max is 3 months is all you can do. So in 3 months, it'll pop back into my actives, and I'll just update it in active. If I need to put it back on hold, I can do that as well. Okay. And these are the closed, which I already showed you. Like I said, all of these, I set up meetings the day I talk to them, and that's pretty consistent. So stats, these are the stats in our brokerage. So my personal stats, these percentages are right here. So actually top 10% is 23.5 seconds, and mine's only 1 minute, 6 seconds. So I could improve that, but that goes into my lead score, or my agent score, and so does Met clients. And I'll show you that. That's only on the phone. Okay, so far, do I have any questions?
How many have you closed?
So I've only closed those 5, but here's the stats right here of our brokerage.
Oh,
So I have closed 1.2 million. That's 5 closes, and I have 1 pending. And Caitlin says she has 2. I think she said she might have 2 pending, but
I do. I just haven't logged it.
okay, yeah. So she'll have 4 closings by the end of that. Tyann has 4. And down here, Catherine, she just started out as an agent and just started out on OpCity, and she already has 1 closing. So once those closings happen, your score goes up tremendously, and you will start getting a lot more leads. So if you can get to this point, you're going to have some momentum to get more. Any other questions?
Sorry, I've got another question, Brittany. So for sometimes listing referrals come in as well as buyer referrals.
Yes.
If you have a buyer who has a house to sell as well, but it's not contingent and they didn't release that to OpCity, is that something that you feel like you need to tell them about? I guess is my question.
That's a really good question. I was really hoping I would not get this question today. I don't have the answer intentionally. So I don't know the answer because I'm afraid of the answer. Because I actually had one of my clients sell that I got from OpCity, but that was well after I had initially got them as a buyer from OpCity. So I've sold one. I'm gonna assume it's in the fine print, but I have not read the fine print. You can find it on here if you want to find it, and it. I think it. Sorry, guys. I think it's right down here. Download the referral agreement, and you're gonna find out what the answer is.
Okay.
So I don't know. I guarantee there's a term of time that they're considered still OpCity agents, but I don't know that time amount.
Oh,
Um,
Brittany,
What other
somebody's asking, what is the fee you pay? It's a range, right? It's a range
is
from
a-
30 to
Okay, so yes, so anything $100,000 or less is a 30-70 split. So they keep 30% and you keep 70. On anything above 100,000, it is 35% commission cut. So you're going to pay them 35%.
Mhm.
But you still get to have a credit for the production level. And you're still going to be creating a referral network and repeat business. And you are getting clients that you never would have had. And I think it's completely worth it to not have to have the risk of committing long-term to a contract of 6 or 12 months and a monthly fee that's pretty significant. And I'm not saying that I would never go that route, but I have had success doing this, and I like that it's no risk.
So
And
in
I
the
know it.
future, let's say you closed with a client, in the future they want to use you again, you don't have to go through OpCity with that. They're at that point completely yours. Is that right?
I don't have that answer. That would be on that referral agreement that
Okay.
you need to find out. If you go over here to this setting and you go down here to the referral agreement, that would be because if you've already helped them buy, then they're going to be a seller of yours in the future. So there'll be a seller and then a buyer again. So there's probably a window of time that OpCity has set that we've all agreed to that use it and don't really know what that window is, but there probably is that there's an obligation to give OpCity that commission cut within a certain period of time. Okay, I'm going to share my phone screen and show you the app unless somebody else has another question. Okay.
While she's setting up her phone screen, I'm gonna do a little commercial break and say tomorrow, I don't know the time, Paul can chime in, or Kim if she's on here. Greg Coker will be here tomorrow, and he spoke at our staff retreat this past Saturday, and he was phenomenal. Very motivational, very realistic, talking about a little bit about personalities, a little bit about dealing with people and the public in the rough atmosphere we're in right now, and then also motivating you to have a great 2021. So I anticipate it to be hour and a half, 2 hours long. It's going to be really great. And then Paul can tell you the times.
Yeah, I think it is 1 to 2:30. I think is what we have set for right now. So yeah, it was really awesome. It really did make you think about your mindset. You know, are you this or are you that? And you know, this is, you know, they get some success, but that really is the successful agent.
And that's the end of this commercial break. We'll pass it back to Brittany Ogata.
All right, I can share my screen here. And I had put it on airplane mode and it kicked me out earlier. That's why it took me a second. So I don't know if I'm going to get notifications because I can't do airplane mode and
You're
be
sharing
on this phone
so
call.
we can see.
Okay. So here's what OpCity looks like when you go in. So here's the score I was talking about. And I don't know why their website's not as usable as their app, because I think obviously most people use the app. So here are the score categories. Closing deals. So 5 out of 17 is what I've done, and that's 82% better than other OpCity agents. So you can kind of see it'll break down your score in each of these categories. I have not started this contact and referrals section. This is a new section they came in with probably a year ago when they merged with or restructured with Realtor.com. There is a messaging system, and that is over here on this main screen. This is your main screen. And this top left is the inbox for your clients. Okay. So they initially send out a text to your clients from you. Or actually, these are from them. Okay. So you can set it up where they'll send one to you. I have it off, which is up here in the top left where it says auto messaging off. Here's the message. If you chose to select that on, they would send that 30 minutes after. And this is the one I for some reason I can't really move. There we go. You can read it better. This is their automated message that they would send out for you. I send one myself right when I get off the phone, so they'll have my cell phone number. But that score in the communication is measured off of how if you're using their inbox or not. And I have not used it. So because it's been something that's new, so it's never come into my routine of what I'm doing. I probably won't switch to it unless it does affect my score a lot, but it hasn't so far. So obviously claiming leads, I'm actually not that good right now because you kind of have to be in front of your computer or in a quiet place. And I'm really not in a quiet place a lot. So that's kind of hard for me, but if I'm home or working at my desk, I can usually accept them pretty quickly. But for the most part, I've accidentally let several go recently because I haven't been in a quiet place. So the meeting in the first 2 weeks, they measure it in the first 2 weeks, and when you click on it, it'll go into better detail of how it's measuring your score. So the score you start out with a score of 100 and you go up or down from there, depending on how well you do these categories. And I think this is the heaviest. I think closing deals and meeting clients and claiming leads are pretty significant in the process. So on the app, so we're at home. If I'm at the bottom of my screen and I go over to referrals, these are the ones we already saw and updated online, or on the website. So if you're on your app, you just click on it, and as you can see, it's pretty easy to use. It's pretty user friendly. So settings, we can go in there, make sure your mobile push, once again, is turned on. That is important. I'm going to send the test alert so you can see what it looks like when it comes in, but basically it's just a mobile, well, it says failed. So
Your phone's off, so it won't go through.
Oh, okay. Sorry, guys. Anyway, so yeah. What other questions do we have? I'm trying to think if there's anything I can go over.
I have a question. At what point are you sending them the buyer agency agreement? Like, do you send that immediately at your phone call? Do you send it before you look at a property? When do you send that paperwork?
So I'm an agent that doesn't use that form.
Okay.
So I don't. So sorry about that. Maybe Caitlin, do you use that form? Are you still here? She's not here. I would suggest solidifying the relationship before asking them to sign anything in writing. I think it looks just a little bit scary, so I kind of try to put myself in their shoes. Do I trust this person? Am I signing this? So I would say set up the meeting, and at your first meeting, you can kind of go over that form and have them sign it then.
Okay.
I've noticed too that a lot of people that clicked on the OpCity, like some of them are really great leads and lead to closes, but a lot of them are just kind of not super serious buyers, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
That's correct. maybe I can share my screen one more time and show the list of, or well, I guess I kind of did. When I was on that released screen, you saw that there was a huge list of released. So it's not, let me see if I can pull that back up. So I have had, let's see, notifications, 400. So I've had 431, no, that's expired, 64 referrals. So of all of the leads that I've clicked on that I've won, it was 64
Wow.
over the course of 2.5 years. I think I've been doing it on OpCity. So maybe just 2 years. So 64 referrals I have won over 2 years. Now I've received notifications of 431 expired, 175 claimed. It actually says I had 66 won. So I don't know why those numbers don't match. So I won 66 of, and I won 66, 175 claimed, and 431 expired. So you'd have to add all three of those together of what I actually won at the percentage that I won. Of those that I won, I've closed 5. So you're going to have a significant amount that you're just releasing, and that's okay. It actually doesn't take much time because you'll know after sending a text and an email, you're doing a phone call, a text and an email, trying to set up a meeting. There isn't many that I've met that I haven't closed or haven't put on like hold, I guess. Like some of their job situations have changed, that kind of thing. But for the most part, if you can meet them, you can close it. And so that's not taking up much of your time. You're taking a phone call, a text, and an email, and then you can put them on your email list if you run drip campaigns or something like that, or you can just kind of check in with them. You'll kind of know after talking to them how good of a lead it is and how much time to spend on it. But setting up that meeting initially is extremely important without being pushy and understanding that they just got a phone call out of the blue and asked a ton of questions, and they answered those questions, which is a little, I don't know, but did that answer your question? Any other questions? So Paul had a few questions to just kind of go over, thinking maybe this would be.
Yeah, you definitely hit on some of them already.
Okay, so how do you answer the lead quick enough to get the lead? And that is immediately when that push notification comes on, and knowing that you may not be the first agent in that lead, in that queue of agents that the lead's going to. But you do get credit for clicking accept, even if you don't win the lead. So if you don't win the lead, you're still getting those, that to go into your agent score. And if your score goes up, the better leads you get. How often do you continue to reach out to the lead if no response? Was one of the questions. I would say you'll know after the first, like if there's no response after 1 week, like that initial thing, and then you can send another one later. I kind of go back through my leads every once in a while and I'll start erasing them. I'll just send a quick text like, hey, are you still interested in looking for houses? That kind of thing. And if they never respond, then I release them and, move on. Okay, what was another one?
What's your biggest challenge?
Okay, so my biggest challenge would be, I think it was learning how to communicate initially. So now that I have a routine down of what to say and what that customer has already been through before they even talk to me, and kind of understanding that. Like one time I was talking to somebody and they were in this birthday party, because they just got this random call after they had clicked a button when they were just kind of in the corner of the party searching on the internet. You know, they're not interested really in sitting down and talking about it right then. But if you can just kind of make a quick connection, like, hey, I know that you just got this call and you answered lots of questions, so I'm trying to make this quick. I'm happy to help you. You know, I know you're looking for a house and this is what you're looking for. I'll be on the lookout. Send a text. But anyway, initially, I think kind of fumbling through those words and getting the right thing I'm going to say every time was difficult. Now that I have that down in that quick email, it doesn't take me much time at all if I get a lead and I can just send that stuff and I'm done.
Oh yeah, and the last question
Okay.
I had was, do you feel it's worth it to work these leads? But after you said 1.3 million, then you answered that. So
Definitely, it's definitely worth it. It doesn't take much time at all. When you get the right one, it pays off. If you're meeting them, you're in good shape. Set up the meeting.
are there any other questions anyone has for Brittany? Now would definitely be the time.
Okay, I have another question. So I'm pretty low on the totem pole, so I get these really obscure type locations that people want to go see, like a murdery type situation. Like, so what are you doing just to protect yourself that you're going to meet these people out there? And is there anything in writing that you have that would, other than the lender that they might be working with and your family? I don't know. Some of the places they wanted me to go, I've been like really like sketchy, like murder type situations. Just wondering,
So
how would you
I
deal with that?
really like the chart that we are using or that we got. It's the home buying process chart, and it's kind
Okay.
of, it's a graphic, it kind of has
Right.
pictures. And the first step in that graphic is a pre-approval. And also OpCity's asking, do you have a pre-approval? Do you have a lender, before they're even talking to you? And a lot of times they are matching them with a lender that's reaching out. So if I feel like it's sketch, I'm definitely going to get a pre-approval or some communication with a lender initially. And then taking more precautions of, sometimes I take my husband with me and he just sits in the car if it's somebody I'm meeting for the first time.
Right.
He also has, like, we have Find My iPhone on my phone, and he can see that, see where I am. I text him when I go in, text him when I leave. If it's sketchy, take somebody with you, but the pre-approval process will help you know.
Right.
It will weed out some people.
Okay. Thank you. I know that's a weird question. It's just some of them have been just such obscure location. Like,
Yeah, I went and showed a $10,000 like shack type situation out towards Mount Sterling one time. I did take my husband. I think it was an OpCity. It ended up selling before we could try to get it, but yeah, that was pretty sketchy. So
I had one,
thank you.
something like that that was really scary out in the middle of nowhere, trees everywhere. I had the listing agent to meet me there
yeah, that's a good idea.
because she was more familiar with the area, and that way, I mean, it was really way out in the middle of nowhere. And she said, oh, I'd be happy to. So she met me there.
Yes. So Catherine, I know you just started and I might be putting you on the spot, but do you mind telling us about your transaction that you just had with OpCity?
Yeah, that was actually my first one, my only one so far. I'm working with some people on OpCity, but they were awesome people. They were easy. We scheduled the meeting that week, and then the next day we scheduled another showing. And then that day of the second showing, they want to go ahead and put in an offer. It was actually with Stephanie Hembray in our office. She was the listing agent. So
Okay.
really great,
So
smooth transaction.
When they called you and they initially talked to you during that warm transfer process, did you set the meeting up during that phone call?
Yes. Yeah. No, I usually try to. Sometimes the people aren't quite ready. And sometimes I've gotten some leads where they don't have a property picked yet. They want me to search for them, which those usually take a lot longer time because they're very picky, but yeah.
Okay, well, congrats. That's pretty cool. Ruby, what about you on your close?
What about my clothes?
Yeah, the one for OpCity. Do you remember it?
Oh,
Has it
the gentleman I worked with, he was very easy to work with. We looked at 2 homes. He picked the one he wanted, and it went very smooth.
Okay. All right. I hope I was helpful, you all. I tried. I'm not teaching the class isn't like my favorite thing, but thank you
Well, I'll tell
for
you,
bearing with me.
you did fantastic. It was really, really good. And just whenever you see the number of people that jumped on just to hear you talk about this, I mean, that's outstanding. I think you did a great job.
And if anybody ever wants to just meet one-on-one and kind of let me look at your screen or talk about anything, help you get it set up, I'm happy to do that.
Thank you so much, Brittany. You're the queen of OpCity in my eyes. I appreciate you doing this class today.
Yeah,
Yes,
no
thank
problem.
you very much.
Thank you very much. I very much appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
Awesome. Well, we'll wrap it up there. I appreciate everyone jumping on, and I'm going to, as soon as this video is ready, I'll post it to our Facebook group. If you want to email it to you or something like that, just give me a shout and let me know, but it should be up here in about an hour or something. Thank you guys so much. Bye.